morning. I'd like to welcome the new ranking member, Ro Khanna, to his new role on the committee. He's been an outstanding member of this committee and look forward to working together as we have in the past. And you know, in this committee, there's a long history of bipartisan work being done. The strength of this committee, just like our nation's support of Taiwan, is grounded in bipartisanship, and I hope that tradition will continue. The staff on your side has been outstanding under the leadership of Raja Krishnamurthy and with a track record of doing tremendous work together with our team, and we look forward to working together in the months ahead. I also want to take a moment to welcome Ambassador Yu, Alexander Yu from Taiwan, who is joining us this morning. Welcome, Ambassador. That illustrates both the bipartisan nature of this relationship and the steadfast relationship between the United States and Taiwan. One of the committee's most recent bipartisan efforts was the 10 More for Taiwan report we released in December, which focused on how we can strengthen our nation's security partnership with Taiwan. The report, coincidentally, was released the same week the Trump administration approved $11 billion in arms sales to Taiwan, demonstrating a continued commitment to peace through strength in the Taiwan Strait. The sale upset the CCP, and it responded with aggressive military drills meant to intimidate Taiwan and its democratically elected government. We're all fully aware of the threat that a PLA military invasion of Taiwan poses. Today, in this hearing, the Select Committee on China will examine the CCP's non-military aggression against Taiwan. Taiwan is a vibrant democratic society, a crucial part of world supply chains, and a close partner of the United States. But make no mistake, even in the absence of a military invasion, the CCP has no interest in peace. It seeks to dominate Taiwan and the freedom-loving people who live there. It wishes to subject the people of Taiwan to the same loss of freedom and human rights the world has seen occur in Hong Kong, where just this week, a court issued the tragic decision to give Jimmy Lai what is essentially a death sentence. Under the leadership of Xi Jinping, the CCP is willing to use any weapon it can to threaten Taiwanese society and security. Through economic coercion, legal manipulation, the exploitation of international organizations, and lies about the history, China seeks to isolate Taiwan and draw it closer into its orbit. The party has a clear plan: weaken Taiwan's resolve, undermine its democratic institutions, and manipulate the information the people of Taiwan see and hear. The CCP's economic and trade coercion has forced targeted export bans, such as a ban on Taiwanese pineapples, import inspections, tourism restrictions, and the mislabeling of Taiwan by international companies, including airlines and hotel chains. It launches millions of cyberattacks each day on the island. It co-opts local media and business leaders and deploys misinformation and deep fakes to target Taiwanese politicians and the island's sovereignty. The CCP even wants the world to believe that it has a historic tie to Taiwan, but never in history has the CCP ruled Taiwan. The CCP's gaslighting and gray zone tactics reflect a doctrine of incremental aggression. They destabilize Taiwan's democratic government and allow China to shift the balance of power without triggering formal war. If left unchecked, these tactics risk hollowing out the island's democracy long before a single PLA soldier ever sets foot on Taiwan. Now, as America prepares to mark its 250th anniversary next year, and Taiwan approaches 30 years since its first direct presidential election, our democracies remind the entire world of one crucial fact: democracy is not an accident. It's a choice, and one that is renewed by every generation. This shared commitment is exactly why Congress continues to strengthen its ties with Taiwan across every domain: diplomatically, economically, and with peace through strength. The coming years will be decisive in shaping Beijing's calculations. We cannot afford complacency, and our message must remain clear. America's commitment to peace, stability, and Taiwan's self-determination is bipartisan and unwavering. That's why Congress will act decisively alongside our allies to deter CCP coercion, defend democratic values, and ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific. And with that, I now recognize my friend, the Ranking Member Raja Krishnamurthy, for his opening statement.